Today, we're going to talk about LUTs, why you should use them, how to use them, and how you can even make your own inside your editing software. Today specifically though, I'm going to talk about how to make it in Davinci Resolve. Well, first off, I wanted to thank everybody that has subscribed up until this point. We have finally reached the 500 subscriber mark. I went through a few ups and downs this year as far as my creativity goes. I went a handful of months without posting, but now that I'm back at it, it just feels good. It feels good to create. So thank you so much for following me on this journey. I know a lot of you that watch my videos are not subscribed yet, so hit that subscribe button if you're liking these videos. All right, first let's talk about what a LUT actually is. In simple terms, LUT stands up for lookup table. This is a color preset that you can apply to your footage to get either a stylistic look, or this is something that you can apply to your footage to get to Rec 709 if you're shooting in log. They're commonly used in film and in video in order to give your footage a certain look, a feel, add some contrast, whatever it is that you're looking for. There are so many LUTs out there. They're different from presets. Presets are something that you use for photos. So this is more geared towards video creation. So why should you even bother using LUTs? Well, for a few big reasons actually. First off, they save time. Say that you're working on a project with hundreds and dozens of hundreds of clips. You could spend hours color grading each clip to make it all look the same, to make it match, but applying the LUT is just one step closer to getting your project done quicker. LUTs can also help you develop your visual style. You see, when you create a LUT or when you use a LUT and you manipulate it to your liking, you're in a sense manufacturing your own style, the way that your videos look. This is great for branding, especially if you're a YouTuber, a filmmaker, a content creator. It's just one of those things that goes without say. It's across the board being used with filmmakers and YouTubers. Now, there are different types of LUTs for different types of scenarios, but the two basic popular LUTs are a technical LUT and a creative LUT. Technical LUTs are often used to convert log footage into Rec 709 or Rec 2020. Basically, if you're shooting in a flat profile like I am right now, you can apply a LUT in order to bring the contrast, the shadows, squash down the highlights a little bit to bring the image to not look so gray and look so pale and blah. Creative LUTs, on the other hand, is where the magic happens. This is where you can add your stylistic look. So if you're shooting in log, for example, think of it as if you're using adjustment layers. You're gonna apply the Rec 709 LUT, the technical LUT, and then on top of that, you're gonna apply your creative LUT. But there's different ways to use these LUTs, and sometimes a lot of people use them in the wrong way. Today, we're gonna focus on creative LUTs. Rec 709 LUTs you can find anywhere. You can look up websites where people are selling them. People are giving them away for free. You can look up specific LUTs that are specifically designed for the camera that you're using. But we're gonna dive deep into creative LUTs. Creative LUTs are also one of those things that you'll see on the marketplace in order for you to buy. You can probably find a ton of free ones out there too, and you can also make your own. So say that you've color corrected and color graded your footage to your desired look. You can easily save it as a LUT so that you can use it in future projects. So let's hop into Davinci Resolve and talk a little bit about it. Once you're happy with your color grade, it's time to save it as a LUT. Simply right click on your graded clip in the color tab, go to generate LUT and select the format that you want to save it as, whether it's 33 point cube or whatever else. Name your LUT, save it, and now you can use it in any project. And that's quite simply it. That's how you are able to save your own LUTs so that you can use them for future projects, whether you want to sell them or not. It's completely up to you. I know for me, it's been a huge game changer to be able to just create a LUT for this scene, for example. So that way all I have to do is apply it and not have to worry about anything else. Let's talk about two key tips to applying LUTs correctly. First, remember that a LUT is just a starting point. A lot of times people just apply the LUT and just let it go, especially if you're using a LUT that you've bought or that you've downloaded for free. This is not gonna 100% make your footage look like a cinematic, blockbuster film. Don't be afraid to make further adjustments. There are going to be things that you'll probably need to manipulate, like temperature, exposure, shadows, highlights. Ultimately, these creative LUTs are just that starting point in order for you to get to the finish line. What I recommend people do is when you're using a creative LUT, do not use it at 100% or at its full capacity. I usually like to bring it down to either 50%. I would even go down as far as 40%. Some people say using it at 75% is great, but usually 50% for me is the sweet spot, because if you use them at 100%, it's either gonna look way too saturated, it's not gonna look pleasing to the eye, it could pretty much bring the quality down of your footage. So keep that in mind when you're using these creative LUTs. Second thing to avoid is stacking LUTs on top of each other. Now, we talked about the technical LUT with the creative LUT. Those work really well when you are stacking them together, but if you're stacking creative LUTs on top of each other, well then you're pretty much degrading your footage. The way that these LUTs are built, especially if you're buying them from big names like people like Peter McKinnon, or if you're buying film quality LUTs from Blockbuster Films to add to your footage, 9 times out of 10, these are gonna be applied as is. If you're gonna add a LUT on top of it, it's just not gonna look good. It's gonna look, yeah. So that is it for our discussion on LUTs. Honestly, LUTs have been a huge game changer for me when I first discovered them, when I started doing video editing work. I've pretty much manipulated my own versions of LUTs, have created my own LUTs in order for me to be able to create a workflow that works for me and that can also save me time. So if you are interested in any of my LUTs, let me know in the comments below, and then maybe I'll give some away for free. All right, well, that's it for me and our LUT discussion. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button and hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post more videos. And I will see you on the next one.